Welcome to Touchline. I'm your host, Anthony Totera. Right now, we've got a very special guest, the Brian Budd Award winner, Gerry Dobson, a guy that's been around Canadian soccer all his life. Gerry, first of all, congratulations, and a guy that you and I both knew very well. God rest his soul, Brian Budd, who loved Canadian soccer. Congratulations. Talk about getting this award, Gerry.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I'm deeply humbled and honored to receive this award. Brian Budd meant so much to the game, and I just hope that I can honor his legacy by accepting this award. But I had no idea it was coming. I was totally shocked when I got the news, and it buckled my knees, to be honest, because I look at myself as just some guy who does television for a living. I love what I do, and I love the sport, but I did not see this coming, and it really is an honor, and I'm deeply indebted to the Hall of Fame for announcing that.
Well, you're not just some guy. You're a guy that loves Canadian soccer like I do. You followed a ton of Canadian soccer, Gerry. Let's talk a little bit about the women, first of all. They're getting ready to go to London. They did what they needed to do, but right now, you and I both know it's going to be a heavy, heavy hill to climb up because of the teams they have to face. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, you know what? When you get to the Olympics or the World Cup, whatever the event, those events are big. It's always tough. I mean, you look at the draw that Canada got with Japan number 3, Sweden number 5, and South Africa. It's always going to be difficult. No matter what group you get drawn in, these things are tough, but it's doable. And also keep in mind that it's the top 2 that go through along with the best second place or third place team. So they have an opportunity there as well. But I think that Japan and Sweden are both beatable on any given day. John Herdman has done a terrific job coaching this team. He's given them all the preparation that they need. He'll have his team ready, and I think that they can get the job done.
Gerry, I've got a concern with the women's program looking forward ahead in maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Christine Sinclair, the bright spot, the world bright spot for Team Canada. I don't see another one coming down the line. Do you?
Well, I don't see another Christine Sinclair coming down the line. In fact, I don't think any country has a Christine Sinclair coming down the line. Let's face it, it's a rare occurrence. It's one in a generation when you get somebody like her. She is truly one of the best, and maybe in my book, I think she is the best player. I think we saw that at the Olympic qualification tournament back in January. So I don't think it's fair to expect another Christine Sinclair to come along. It just won't happen. But there are a lot of good young female soccer players in this country, and I think the sport is in good hands. And we'll see. I mean, it's always going to be difficult. Let's face it. Just by the fact that the game is growing in so many countries around the world, we're just trying to keep up, basically, in a lot of ways. But I think the game is in good hands, and I think there are enough fine young women soccer players that'll get the job done.
Gerry, let's switch over to the men. It's near and dear to your heart and mind. You've seen a lot more games than I have. The memories to me are the Gold Cup, 86, and I can go on and on. Eddie Berdusco scoring a goal. But Gerry, to me, I have a concern. The next round, a lot of people are taking it very lightly. And I see some of the smaller countries like Cuba getting better and better. In your mind, Gerry, is this stage going to be a lot harder than people think it's going to be?
Oh, it'll be tough. There's no question it'll be difficult. And you know, we talk about the women and how tough that draw is. It's the same for the men. It's never easy. There's never an easy draw. Honduras are a big, strong, powerful team. Panama, they've improved over the years. Cuba is probably the one team that Canada needs to beat away. If you can beat Cuba away and win your home games, and I'm not saying that's easy, it's going to be very difficult, but I think they can get out of the group, but it will not be easy, and it wouldn't surprise me if they stumble at this stage. It is that difficult.
But the ace in the hole, and I think finally the ace in the hole is the crowd. I finally believe, Gerry, and I think you would agree, that the crowd is starting to change. They're supporting Team Canada more and more with the help of OSA clubs. Have you seen that lately?
Oh, for sure, and you know what? I cannot stress enough the importance and the debt of gratitude that we owe the Ontario Soccer Association for everything that they are doing, Ron Smale at the helm, in terms of trying to get Canadian red in the seats at BMO Field for those World Cup qualifiers. It is crucial. You talk to the players, because the crowd influences the way the game is played, because the crowd can make you feel like you're not playing as well when you're a visiting team. Even though you may be playing very well, it makes you feel as though you're not. There's such a strong home crowd. And for us to have that at BMO Field in Canada will really help our guys, and I do see that it's changing that way, but it takes a lot of work, and it takes a commitment to people to promote it and try and fill those seats with Canadian fans. And I think it's going to happen. I hope it happens, and I hope it makes a difference.
Well said, Gerry. Very quickly before we let you go, I was jumping up and down with my two boys with their Canadian t-shirt when Lucas Cavallini and Daniil Henry scored. But again, as Canadians, we didn't finish the job when we needed to against Cuba, if I'm not mistaken, and we let that late goal in, and then we collapsed. What are we missing, Gerry, in your mind? You've seen so much Canadian soccer. Are we missing that extra oomph? What are we missing?
Well, you know what? We always seem to miss players that can finish. I mean, we saw some of that in the men's Olympic qualifying, but that seems to be the thing that we miss. We have a lot of good, hard-working players, but it's the skill players that we sometimes miss. What is the reason for that? I don't have the answer. I suppose if I had the answer, then the coaches around the country would also have the answer to that question. Some of those players are out there. The question is, will they play for Canada? David Hoylett comes to mind, obviously. We desperately need a player like him, and I hope that he feels Canadian enough in his heart that he wants to represent the Maple Leaf, because he is a pure finisher, and with a guy like him on the pitch, that can make a ton of difference to Canadian success.
Well said. And to finish up, I know for a fact you've given back so much to the community in this province and in this country. You love the game of soccer so much, and you've given back. Is there some people that you want to thank that have helped you along the way, especially covering so much Canadian soccer?
Well, you know, there's a number of people that have helped me along my career in both television and in the sport of soccer as well, and it might be unfair to name anybody in particular, but I think the people in the soccer community know who they are that have helped me along the way, and the people in the television industry know who they are as well. I've been blessed to come along at a time that I've crossed paths with some wonderful people in television and in this wonderful sport, and I just feel that there's so many people that have helped me along the way, and I owe a debt of gratitude to each and every one of them.
Gerry Dobson of Sportsnet, a guy that I look up to, a guy that I learn continuously, day in and day out. Congratulations winning the Brian Butt Award, a guy who we love dearly. And again, thank you for coming here and joining us on Touchline.
Thank you very much for all your kind words, and onward to everybody in Canadian soccer. Let's get it done on all fronts, everyone.
The one, the only, Gerry Dobson of Sportsnet, Brian Butt Award winner.